Motion.
Support.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilwoman Winton, supported by Councilman Bazura. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Clerk Bauer, do you have any? Okay, yeah, well, I'll let you before we go to council. Yeah, that's fine. I remembered, so yeah.
Thank you. I wasn't going to let you forget. Okay. All right. Through the chair, the first item is from Chuck Kynes, 7511 Birch Street. To Taylor City Council members, where do you see the future of retail stores in our city?
Mr. Kynes, he usually sends us all that email,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I responded to that one yet or not, but
Through the chair, I did.
Sure.
I mean, I did respond to Mr. Kynes. I told him, obviously, I feel there's going to be a change in retail. I don't think it's going to go away, because there's people like me that want to buy my clothes and try them on or sit on the furniture before I buy it. But I do think it's going to change. I definitely think online shopping is what a lot of people do. So I see a reduction, and I think retail stores have to adjust and adapt and change their business structure.
right, the last I heard, I think the mall is still doing pretty successful for one of the malls, you know, in the area, when most of them have kind of faded away. Southland still seems to be going pretty good. Councilman Johnson?
The lady that runs Southland is on Tufa,
Mm-hmm.
and they said they are doing absolutely fantastic. And if you go by there,
Sure.
it's always
Busy.
busy,
Yeah.
and it's gonna change, everything's gonna change.
Busy.
Right,
Who
yeah,
would think that there would be no more Sears
right,
or Kmart's,
right.
you know? So it's gonna change, it's
Yeah.
gonna, we have to change with it.
And I personally, like, I shop online, but I normally pick it up at the store, you know, so I still need the
Sure.
store to go to.
Okay. Any questions on that? Okay. Clerk Powell?
Okay. Next is from Amy Atwood, 9745 Mueller. This is regarding WINTERFEST. When will the total overall profits after expenses paid from the WINTERFEST be posted and available for residents?
If it's been posted yet or not? Do you know? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if Carl would post that. I don't know that one.
Good question. I do know we had received a preliminary report, but that, you know, finance hadn't necessarily confirmed all the numbers, yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll reach out to Carl.
If there is no requirement to post, and it is available, or possibly available through FOIA, if there is a document that exists.
Okay.
Okay, next is from Martin DROULLIARD, 6708 Beach Daily. Who approved the roof at Salute Tavern at 22615 Goddard to be connected to city property, and if something were to happen, who is liable?
I don't know, but I'm assuming planning or building department, because I know, I believe it went through the specs.
I think it had to be engineered too.
Right. Yeah, so.
I do know there was an email sent on it, and it confirmed that they went through all of the proper procedures and permits.
Because that was one of our questions too,
Yeah.
when we first saw it.
Okay,
And if I'm not correct, I don't believe those pillars are city property. They're on their side of the sidewalk.
They're on their side of the sidewalk.
They're on their side of the sidewalk,
There's debating on that.
yeah.
So, but I know the planning or the building department handled all that stuff, so.
okay. Next is from Charles Blackwell. There's no address provided. Hello, Clerk Bauer has been vindicated by the court and had the right to toss Mayor Sollers off the ballot. The only ballot or list Mayor Sollers will be on in the future is a list of convicted felon public officials ready to report to the Federal Bureau of Prison to serve his sentence. Okay, and I have one more. This one I did not print. This is from, oh boy, I'm going to butcher his name, Harry Galagarakis. Dear Mrs. Bauer, this office represents 734 Storage in connection with case number 21-01, request for conditional rezoning for parcel ID 60-011-99-0007-702 Council held a second reading on this application on May 4th and denied the application. We are requesting that the council reconsider that decision. It appears that there was incorrect information that was used in making the decision, in particular, that there would be a second story on the building. There will not be a second story. Please reconsider this action. My client is available to address any questions the council may have.
Is that all you have? Good. Does anybody on council have anything?
Yeah, I could, just because it is about the rezoning, and I wasn't at the last meeting, and I was curious why that was voted down. I know it was recommended by the planning commission, and we had a solid plan. The neighbors were for it because there is a berm. I mean, I looked at that U-Haul on Telegraph, and it butts right up to the neighbors' yards, you know, and this is a totally different scenario, which I thought that would have been big and one that was kind of a good fit, but I don't know if anybody else wanted to comment on why.
Well, my big thing was it was industrial at one time, and it's going back to that, light industrial, and that the tree, it's nothing outdoor.
Right.
So,
Mr. Chairman, the owner is here if there are questions.
I don't know how we would even reconsider it, I don't know the process.
Yeah, somebody that voted against it would have to bring it forward at the next meeting. Or, I mean, you could technically bring it now, I don't have the item, but.
I will say, I know we received the letter, I would, you know, before bringing it forward, I would want to review the individual's comments on.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily suggesting bringing it forward today, but I just
Okay.
was curious.
That's something that somebody would have to bring forward at the next meeting. Or if they're wanting to bring it forward, you could just email me and Michelle will put it on the, you know, but it has to be somebody that voted no against it. So, anybody? Councilwoman Cass?
Yep. I just want to thank everyone who came out to the Taylor Historical Society sidewalk sale on Saturday. It was a huge success. We also collected $100 for the Taylor Animal Shelter, and we will be presenting them with a check as soon as our treasurer from the society is back in town. I have a question about the Taylor Summer Festival. I happened to notice that it was on Facebook. Mayor, if you could kind of let us know about the July 8th through the 10th.
Who the band's gonna be if we have one.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, so there has been some discussion about attempting to have the summer festival this year. And based on communications from President Biden and Governor Whitmer, we opted to try to push the event after the July 4th weekend. So I know a lot of the discussion was trying to get back to normal by the July 4th holiday. So trying to hedge our bet, so to speak, we decided to try to move it to the 8th through the 10th. And that is so if you go way back 2 administrations ago, that was the weekend that it used to be held on, the second weekend in July. And then when we canceled, Uncle Sam Jam kind of moved in and took those dates. Well, Uncle Sam Jam has canceled this year, so we've opted to try to plug those dates back in and keep them hopefully indefinitely in the city of Taylor, because it's a much better weekend in terms of weather. So right now we're working through all the details. I think somebody put a little teaser out there with very little information to try to get some excitement and buzz, because we do not have a lot of the items finalized yet. We're still looking at band considerations. We're looking at what the fireworks show will look like if we're able to do it. We suspect it will likely be smaller. We do have commitments and checks being processed right now from several of our main sponsors, so that was good that a lot of the corporate sponsors were willing to come back immediately. So that's kind of the short answer, but within the next week or so, we'll likely roll out a full detailed press release identifying as much as we can.
And that may change too, according, I mean, everything is tentatively, we may have to have, this and can't have that or whatever, so everybody needs to understand that.
It's a very fluid situation. If you remember last year, we tried to move it to Labor Day weekend in hopes of, again, getting back to normal, and unfortunately, COVID continued to hang around and we had to cancel. So this is very much like that. We are very optimistic that based on the current situation and what we're hearing from both administrations, that we're hopeful that we'll be able to host another summer festival this year, but it will be that July 8th through the 10th, and we are looking at bands. I will tell you that we will likely not do them under the pavilion this year. just in hopes of being able to spread out and create more space. We're gonna go back to the concert field and maybe do like a food truck and, beer tent type idea under the pavilion, so. It'll be COVID